Oh, thank you, G-Man. Well, it was just the other day that this also made headlines. I'm talking about the Matric results, and against major disadvantages and disruptions like the COVID-19 pandemic and load shedding, a few learners have been able to rise above and not only achieve a bachelor's pass, but become the top learners in the country. Now, we are joined in studio by two of the top learners in the Western Cape, Grace Prowse, and top learner in the country, and also #1 in mathematics. We're also joined by Kenneth Janson, who placed 3rd in the Western Cape. Good morning to the top achievers. Good morning. How's it feeling?
Yeah, very surreal.
Do you feel like the results have sunken in? I mean, how does it feel to be back in your school uniform?
I wouldn't say the results have sunken in. It's been mayhem sort of these last 2 weeks since the release of the results. So I don't know that I've had much of a chance to catch my breath yet, think about it all, but it's been a wonderful experience.
Well, I hope the two of you are extremely proud. Kenneth, how are you feeling sitting on the couch right now?
I'm still a bit dazed. I woke up very early to come in for a ball. I'm just glad I'm here because I think I took the wrong turn quite a few times, but as I said, I am here, so but no, I'm very privileged to be here. Thank you.
That is incredible, because I think there's a lot of students that feel like, oh, I've taken a wrong turn, I've made the worst decisions, but you're proof of that, you know, along the way you can turn things around and you can still achieve those results that you want to. Kelly, I'm going to put the spotlight on you first. Being tied #1 in the country, I feel like this is probably the question you get the most, but how did you feel when you heard the news?
Quite shell-shocked, actually, but flabbergasted by it all. I obviously, having received the phone call just to be there was already very exciting, quite an amazing opportunity. But to have gotten sort of the most prestigious award possible, yeah, I feel unbelievably privileged, went far beyond my wildest hopes and dreams, but yeah, it's been incredible.
Well, that is amazing. And I mean, Kenneth, you guys had quite a difficult road ahead of you, given everything that happened. A couple of years of, you know, changing the landscape of how teaching was due to COVID-19, then add to that load shedding. How does it feel knowing that you were able to achieve those results despite all these obstacles that were thrown your way?
I think it is very encouraging if we were able to achieve what we achieved with the obstacles we had to face. Then, I mean, when things are easier, I think that has to serve as inspiration for those that don't have to face COVID or hopefully don't have to face load shedding as much.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could do it with those obstacles, then there's no reason that anyone else can't do it as well.
Definitely. And I mean, you mentioned earlier that you've made a few wrong turns, but how did you correct the course? What was your strategy? Like,
sure.
How did you change it? Because I think there's a lot of students that watch a little bit of Expresso first thing in the morning before heading to school, and they add a lot of pressure to themselves. But how did you turn it around for yourself?
I think it was definitely necessary at one point to turn around. I think there were a few wrong turns. You have to sit down and talk to yourself, be honest with yourself and say, but what do I want to achieve? And once you have stated, okay, I want to do this and this and this, then it's a lot easier to say, okay, but I'm not on the path to achieving that, so what can I do now? So, for example, in lockdown, with the online school especially, I couldn't study. Like, my academics was not my top priority. I became I think the anxiety was also a bit too much for me. And then afterwards, after we could go to school again, I had to tell my parents, listen, I have to start over. I have to have not a clean break, but I have to change my circumstances. I went to the hostel, surrounded myself with new experiences in an environment where I'm pushed we have studies, so you have to study. I had to put in the extra effort to catch up the work I missed. And yeah, I mean, if you told yourself that I want to achieve this, then it's a lot easier to motivate yourself to achieve that.
And you've definitely inspired a lot of young individuals to, I love how you changed your environment to get a different outcome, which is so powerful. But I can imagine the anxiety around everything that you have all faced is a lot. Kelly, how was it for you to put things in place to overcome the anxiety of the pressure and everything else that's beyond your control?
With the pressure, I think most of it came from myself. So I think at times it was good, it was motivating, especially during COVID, during lockdown. It meant kind of sitting down when I needed to, getting through my work. Yeah, it's definitely been a lot, lockdown, load shedding, all of it. But yeah, I keep saying with load shedding, the benefit of it, and yeah, if I have to put some light on it, it would be that we're all in it together. I wasn't the only person sitting in a dark room trying to study. There were tons of other people, thousands of other people across the country in the same position. So yeah, remembering that you're not alone is always helpful. And yeah, with COVID and the pandemic, as Kenneth said, it took a lot of your own discipline, your own time to sit down, having to sit down with teachers as well, trying to get the foundations right. So it was definitely a lot, but it helped, yeah, improve my resilience, I hope.
Definitely. Well, congratulations to the both of you.
Thank you.
Kelly, Kenneth, thank you so much for joining us today. And enjoy wearing that school uniform while it lasts, because soon you'll obviously be off to bigger and greater adventures. And that's Kelly Grace Prowse from Rustenburg Girls High School, tied for #1 spot in the National Senior Certificate results for 2022, and Kenneth Janson from Hoër Jongenskool in Paarl, who placed 3rd in the Western Cape. We are extremely proud of them and wish them all the best for their future.